All right, welcome to the relationship show. This guy writes on this Reddit post looking for advice on how to meet someone similar to me. He's 22 years old. He says, so I've talked to with enough people to know that I'm never really going to be comfortable with someone unless they have about the same level of energy as me. To put it bluntly, I'm a rather boring guy. I care about college and having a successful career in my field, and honestly, little else. I've had the same group of five close friends for the past 8 years, and that's about it. I've never had much of a social life, even before COVID, and I don't see that changing after it's gone. Okay, so what are the good points on this? So you've got a mission, you know what you're going after, and then also it's like you have like a singularity of focus, and that's actually a masculine quality. It's like when you're like devotedly focused on something, and then like that becomes like almost like your obsession, but it's an obsession on your mission. That can be a masculine quality, and then also loyalty seems to be very important to you. You've got five close friends that you've been together with for 8 years. Continuing on, but I get lonely just like everyone else, and I've recently found myself yearning for that meaningful connection that I've just never had with someone. I've been on dates with people before. Parentheses, my actual social skills are nowhere near as bad as my social energy. In parentheses. Okay, what does that tell me? You can intellectually say like comebacks. That's kind of what this is hinting at least from my perspective. But as far as your energy is low compared to everyone else. So everyone else almost seems like they want to be there more than you want to be there. And that comes from your body language. It's like, how are you coming into the room? And it's like, if you're just kind of like in this like closed position, or you're in a wall, or you've got your drink in front of you, or your head's down, it's like people are going to feel that. Uh, Body language is one of the biggest communicators that we have. Body language, tone of voice, much more so than words. And so, have that confident body language, breathe deeply, have your chest, like there's a string from the sky going down to this part of your chest right here. And it's like you have it straight up. You're not looking back because that's too much. It's like almost like a cocky, like just straight up. And then instead of, hunched over, not hunched back, straight up, deep breaths, gesture out. The more open you are, really, the more confident it shows. When you gesture, act with certainty, walk with a purpose. So, like, where you're going. You're not just like kind of weaving around people, or like if somebody gets in front of you, like let them go or something like that. You have a purpose and you go on that purpose. Eye contact, that's another body language one. You look right in their eyes when you ask them for something. Also, women will like test you in this at the beginning, especially like right when they meet you. They're gonna look right in your eyes, and then most guys are like, "What the heck?" She's looking right at my eyes. It's like, oh, they get uncomfortable, so they look away. But you have to, stay strong in that, especially at the beginning. That initial eye contact is very important. So focus on those things that'll really improve your energy. Continuing on, uh, and it's just never worked for me. I never really understood why, but like I mentioned before, I think it's because I've been meeting people who are just not on my same wavelength. Yeah, you might not be interested in them. They might not have the same values, interested in, you might not found what you're looking for. But it's like you're asking, how do I find someone who is similar to me? Well, define, you've listed some good things about like who you are as a person, etc. But it's like, um, but you haven't defined what you want in another person. So write that down. Write what you want, write what you don't want, write where you're going to meet that person, write what you have to become, and the qualities that you'll have to have, and the qualities you have to eliminate from yourself. Write that down, because when you write it down, that's when your reticular activating system starts to find that in other people and other situations. It's like we see so many people in our day to day life that it's like we have to filter out so many people. and we don't even notice them. But if we have it written down, it's like our brain just naturally finds those people in those situations, and then um, we can basically capitalize on that. He says, I know how silly this all sounds, but that's how it is. If anyone has any advice on how to go about meeting my fellow boring individuals, I greatly appreciate it if you could share it with me. Yeah, and it's like you saying boring over and over again. It's like that's probably not the best word you could use for that. It's like if you're telling a woman like, "Oh, I just want someone boring like me," that's gonna be a turnoff to her because, like, man, women, a lot of it has to do with them just having fun and having a good time with you in that moment. But if you're just like bringing her down or bringing you down by saying that you're boring, it's like I'd just eliminate that out of the vocabulary. I would say replace it with what you want specifics, like someone who's on the same career path as me, or someone who likes these things that I like, and have that way. That's the similar things you should focus on, not similar being boring and not having a good time.